Hey, this is a busy intersection, Day and Fur Road here in Mishawaka. You've probably seen this brand new facility. It's the internal medicine facility of Dr. Shea and Jackie Hockfee, and they are friends of yours, aren't they, Mark?
Yes, you know, we met over 10 years ago, got a phone call, and they had just purchased a home in Granger, met them there, and we did a landscape renovation and got to know both of them quite well. And over the years, we've helped them maintain that facility, and it was last year we got another phone call.
How about that?
And they brought new life to this very prominent corner here.
Yeah, this is a prominent corner. You know, it's interesting, the business that comes your way, lots of times it kind of develops that way, right? A friendship and some work that was maybe done 10 years or more ago.
That's right. And we got to know each other so well that Jackie said, you know what we like, just make it happen. And what we've got here is just what the doctor ordered.
Whoa, well, great. Well, they trust you then, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Well, we're going to start out with what's going on here right around this beautiful new sign, and I think this is the one feature that we got to talk about.
Yeah, it is the wow. Both Shea and Jackie appreciate rare and unusual plants, especially conifers, and those are the evergreens. And so we've got this 20-year-old weeping white pine here making quite the statement, framing the corner of their message center here, and then it's surrounded by these golden sword century plants, which actually are also in the evergreen family. It's an ornamental grass-like type of perennial that maintains these beautiful golden green colored leaves 12 months out of the year.
Hey Mark, you know, I told you earlier, a friend of mine came up to me this weekend and said, I really like Linton's plants, trees, and shrubs because they're just healthier. I mean, this one was growing on your own property, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Our 40-acre nursery, just 2 miles from our home and garden center.
Very good. What else along the way here?
Well, let's go and check out up around the building.
Okay. Well, we've made the turn here, and I tell you, a lot of symmetry going on here, as you would expect.
Absolutely. So we've got this big bare wall, and felt that was like a blank canvas. It was asking for some height here, and so we're actually framing both corners with these Flexus pines here. Craig, these pines are so cool. Take a look at these needles. If you look closely, you're going to see both blue and green on those needles. And then this is a conifer, which means it's cone bearing. These produce the most spectacular cones on here. And some people may call it a Charlie Brown tree, but I just call it character. Look at that tree trunk, and there's not two of them that perfectly match. Each one's unique and different. But the cool thing is the different coloration of the needles and just the unique branch structure.
And low maintenance to boot, right?
Absolutely. We've got some large boulders incorporated into the landscape here. You're going to see our contemporary path lights that follow the curve of the edging. Come by this place at night, and this just glows.
It lights up.
It does. We've got our dwarf hydrangeas here. These are called little lime hydrangeas, and they produce the most spectacular lime-colored flowers that open up to pure white. Little lime is a version of limelight hydrangeas. Limelight get quite large. Little lime only gets to be like 2.5 feet in height.
Ah, how about that?
So I'll share another secret with you. So this is called an espalier flowering crabtree here. We've got perfectly centered with the peak of the roof here. And this bloomed with beautiful pink flowers in the springtime. After it's done blooming, then the limelight hydrangeas kick in, and they will continue to bloom all the way up until frost in the fall.
So it's all about timing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And yes, we mentioned the dwarf pine on the other corner. You see another one here. And we also have spotlights highlighting all the specimens. So each of the pines get a spotlight. We call them uplights. And same way with the espalier flowering crabtree there. Show you a little secret here. These spotlights have what's called a shroud on them. And you see this raised part here?
Sure.
What that does is protects the source of the light from the eye. And so since most people are viewing this from the street. We've got the shroud towards the street there, and then that directs the light not only onto the specimen evergreen here, but creates some really interesting shadows on the building.
Very good. That's a real boulder.
It is a real heavy boulder.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, as we turn the corner here, we've got one of our summer flowering tree hydrangeas. This only gets to be 8-9 feet in height. This is about a 12-15-year-old tree that we've been growing at our nursery here, and produces the most beautiful white flowers that turn kind of a pinkish mauve color in the fall.
Very nice. Hey, what about the choice of ground cover here? Was that any big decision on your part?
Well, we've got a couple of different types of ground cover. Most prominently is the washed river gravel. We selected that because of the nice range of colors.
Yeah.
If you look closely, there's not one solid color here. And because we've got different colors that we're working with on the exterior of the building, it pretty much ties it all together.
Sure.
Now with our water feature, we wanted a contrasting stone, but we still wanted it to blend. And so we're using Mexican beach pebbles, which have that dark gray colored look to them.
Nice contrast.
Thank you.
I like that. What else, Mark?
Well, we've got one of our fan boxwoods here in a beautiful fan shape. Softens this wall, gives us a little bit of height in between the windows. You also see a spotlight on that. Just like around the digital message center out near the intersection, we have these golden century plants which are producing green and gold colored leaves 12 months out of the year. And then as an added bonus, it gets spikes of white flowers during the summertime.
Interesting. I bet patients love coming here.
Well,
as much as you can when you go to the doctor.
And you know, if you think about that, sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking going to see the physician and that. And so nothing is more calming, nothing is more soothing than the sounds of falling waters. And so we wanted to greet those guests with a nice water feature here. Not only do they see that as they're coming up to the front entrance here, but the waiting room or the lobby overlooks this, and it's just very comforting and relaxing.
All right. You've got a whole lot more to talk about here, don't you?
Yes, we do. So we've got a little dwarf boxwood hedge, and this will always stay below the base of the windows here. It's also part of the bones of the landscape. Also for pops of color, we have some of our shrub roses. These are knockout roses. We're starting to see some color with this one here. Kind of interesting that the one that's up closest to the brick building is blooming first. It's simply because it holds the heat. And so it's the greenhouse effect. We see buds on these other two here, but that one is blooming first just simply because of the heat off of the brick of the building.
It's not the moisture, it's the heat.
It is the heat. So it's having a little earlier spring than the others. But the knockout roses are amazing. They nonstop bloom all spring, all summer and fall. Each one's going to be putting out over 2,000 blooms per season.
Nice design here.
Well, thank you. And Craig, as we turn around the corner here, you're going to see more large boulders incorporated into the landscape here. We have one of our topiary Hindu pan pines here, and this one's called Windswept. And the design of this is as if the wind just blew it this way. And we study feng shui. And so part of feng shui is always calling attention to the main entrance. And this just directs the guest to the front door.
Man, oh man. I tell you, this is really fun to look at.
Well, thank you. And then we've got some of our succulents here. These are Mr. Goodbud sedums. It's like the Autumn Joy sedum, the old-fashioned one, only the benefit of this new hybrid is it doesn't flop, and also the flowers which are produced in the fall time, there's just so much more intense pink, almost a red coloration. But those thick leaves do a great job of holding the moisture.
One of your favorites right here.
It is one of my favorites here. Yeah, our red Japanese lace leaf maple. This one actually is a Dragon Lady Japanese maple here. We have a spotlight shining up into that. And this is about a 15, 20-year-old specimen, and so not going to get too much larger than what you see right now.
Well, a very, very busy corner, Fir and Day Road here in Mishawaka. Come and take a look, won't you?